Caleb Fairley, a Dungeons & Dragons enthusiast, brutally killed a woman and her daughter. At the time, the media and prosecutors linked the crime to the game, suggesting that Fairley may have been radicalized. But the question arose, could a game drive a young man to commit murder? Caleb's situation wasn't the first instance where Dungeons & Dragons had been linked to criminal violence. In 1984, a tragic murder-suicide involving Steve and Dan Irwin, aged 12 and 15, occurred. They left a note claiming it was their only escape from the game. Two other cases in 1979 and 1982 involved kids committing suicide, with the game taking blame. This led to the formation of BAD, or Bothered About Dungeons & Dragons. BAD aimed to raise awareness about the game's perceived dangers, including devil worship, human sacrifice, and satanic rituals. Although millions of individuals played the game without committing violent acts, Dungeons & Dragons garnered an unfavorable reputation. Caleb Fairley was an unconventional young man from an affluent family, working at his parents' children's clothing store in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. He had unconventional interests, including industrial metal music, role-playing games, pornography, and vampire lore. His clothing choices deviated from mainstream norms, including a sweater depicting a vampire attacking a young woman. In the absence of his parents, Caleb engaged in unsettling activities like drilling holes in dressing room walls. His appearance and actions made him seem peculiar to most. In September 1995, Lisa Mandarak, an almost 30-year-old mother, entered the Caleb store with her 19-month-old daughter named Devon. It was late in the day, and Caleb was the only person working. Lisa and her daughter were the only two customers in the store. Caleb noticed an eerie familiarity in Lisa's appearance. Her dark hair and pale complexion brought to mind a certain individual. She bore a striking resemblance to the woman depicted in the vampire attack image on his sweatshirt. Subsequently, Caleb locked the store, trapping Lisa and Devon inside. With Lisa and Devon trapped, Caleb made his move. He approached Lisa and attempted to assault her, but she fought back, enraging Caleb. He strangled them both, silencing their cries for help. After their deaths, Caleb allegedly sexually assaulted Lisa's body. He then disposed of their bodies, leaving young Devon in Valley Forge National Park and Lisa in a wooded area near a health club. Caleb then went about his night, attending an Electric Hellfire Club concert. The crime didn't remain hidden for long. Lisa's husband, Jimmy, knew exactly where she had gone and reported her absence to the police. Her car was found outside the store, and a search inside revealed Caleb's disturbing pornography collection, which was stained with blood. They also discovered strands of Lisa's black hair, a saliva stain, and drilled holes in the dressing rooms. 2 days later, Caleb was charged with the murders. When the police brought Caleb in for questioning, they immediately noticed a heavy layer of makeup on his face. They instructed him to remove it, revealing that his face was covered in scratch marks underneath. He asserted his innocence, attributing the scratches to an incident at the concert. However, this conflicted with what Caleb had told his friends, as he had previously claimed the scratches resulted from assisting an assault victim outside his store. He had even asked his friends to lie on his behalf, but they declined. A search of his home uncovered more pornography, board games, vampire-themed items, and various occult paraphernalia. A few days after the murder, 2 hikers stumbled upon Devon's remains. To avoid the death penalty, the police made a deal with Caleb to reveal where Lisa's body was hidden. Caleb agreed, and investigators discovered DNA beneath Lisa's fingernails, aligning with the scratches on Caleb's face. Coupled with other evidence, this proved sufficient to secure a conviction on 2 counts of murder and additional charges, including corpse abuse. The sensational aspects of the crime became the focus of TV news, front-page headlines, and talk radio. They revived the theory linking Dungeons & Dragons to the occult. After a brief investigation and trial, Caleb received a maximum sentence, 2 life terms without parole. The extent to which Dungeons & Dragons influenced his actions remains a matter of interpretation.